Hello, my friends, and welcome back for another Kamigawa Neon Dynasty draft. Sometimes there's a card in your set review that you think is going to be really good. Some other people have some different opinions about it, and then you get past a couple of them. I'll let you be the judge of whether the card's actually good or not. You let me know what you think in the comments. If you like what I'm doing here, do please consider subscribing. That'll give you an alert when there's a new video. And you can also check out the Twitch stream. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin, where you can see me playing Magic and Storybook Brawl live every weekday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy today's draft. All right, pack one, pick one. What do we like? I like the Cloudsteel Kieran. I think I like this too, right? You draw a card or you gain 4 life. There's also a pacifism. I super like pacifisms. Good morning, Rachel. What's down? And yes, LSV is the marketing dude for Storybook Brawl, although I've talked to Matt and Ass about it some too. You could probably reach out to them. Prancer works well with the ninjas. I kind of like the pacifism. This is good. This is real good. I'm probably supposed to take this. This is a 3/2 flyer for 3. This is better than a pacifism. Hey, they passed me a Prancer anyway. Now, I saw somebody beat me to pieces with this yesterday. It was good. It was real good. I don't know that I grab it here because there's the Kami Flare, which I like. There's also the Prancer, which I like. Somebody beat me to death yesterday with a Jukai Naturalist. It was just so many enchantments, so fast, and I really couldn't interact with it. I have found that you really want to have some removal. And this Kami Flare has me interested. This could be the draft where we do this, frankly. I want to sit down at some point and plan to draft my Ratio Sentinel deck. Ponder some orbs. I'm not quite ready to do that yet. But let's take a Kami Flare. Okay, maybe we will be green-white. This seems really good to me. Like, it's a 4-mana sorcery speed punch, but if you can get it to 6, you get you a free 2 for 1. Morning, Timber. Is this good? Return X. Yeah, this is good. This is value green stuff. Okay, we're in green. There's also a Tanuki here, which is great. But this is a decent green rare. It plays well with itself. So you can play it out, have a 1/3, pop it, junk stuff into your graveyard, and get some lands. And then later turn it into that regrowth card from Kaladesh that I like. I don't know. I think I ended up, this is kind of drafting itself. We're doing green things. We'll figure out the rest later. My opponent beat me with it. Well, they beat me, and they had that in play. I don't know that the hover bike was what beat me. So I'd say the jury's still out. I did lose a game where someone played it. But if you play enough Magic, you will lose to everything. I've had people beat me with Fog. Okay. So we're just green. We'll figure out the rest later. There is a Tamiyo's Completion, which I dig, but there's also the instant speed mana elf. So we're going to take that. This deck already looks like it wants a bunch of mana. So I do need to figure out what we're going to pair this with eventually. It could be any of this. I don't even hate to commune with spirits potentially. I'll take this and see where it goes. It could be red. Take a green 3. That's fine. I do want some big dumb green things, and we'll find them. The Sentinel's here. We could go for it, but I'm... Well, congratulations, Timber. Okay, this does feel like we're getting red-ish things, right? And if we're in green-red, we should have some modified stuff, I would think. The Ogre also seems alright, especially with the Rebuke and the Spinning Wheel Kick. It just like, hey, here's a body that can smack things. So I think I'll take the first one there. Could Jund if I want to. I think we're starting to move into something a little more akin to this. Yeah, this is not looking bad. If something weird happens, I can get out of the red, but green is looking very stocked. But I could be very wrong about the hover bike. Like, it's early. Nobody truly knows what's up. At least I don't. But I'm kind of enjoying Kamigawa, taking it a little slower. And just looking to have a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time. There's a flame discharge, but I'm not convinced that that's better than Master's Rebuke. Right, let's say your opponent has a 4/4 and you need to kill it. It's 5 mana. If you got this dude or one of the Death Touch snakes, you can just do it for 2. And like, we don't have to be red, we just have some red cards. I think red's open adjacent, but I'm just going to take Master's Rebuke and look for big dumb green creatures. I don't like Boseiju anymore. The land, I don't want it. The Saga, I do want. The land, I'm kind of over it. I think I just want to fade to Antiquity here. I've drafted 2 of these before, cut one of them when I was deck building, and then immediately regretted it. Yeah, the Saga I think would be really good. I'd be happy with that. I also don't think it's too early to be picking this. What's up, Enlighten? Yeah, just so we don't like think that we're red because of these cards, I'm going to move them over here because there's no reason for us to be playing red. We could still easily be white. Every time I've wanted to use it, it would have ramped my opponent. It is the channel for Naturalize, but they also get a land into play. And it's like, you can, like, the effect is good enough that you don't need it on a land. You can just play Fade to Antiquity. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a counter on it. I'm not going to be casting a lot of enchantments, but I could be casting some. It's fine. I will take it and I will play it. I just won't pick it as highly as I was initially thinking that I would. We can adjust a little bit on this Kami. This looks like a lot of value, but we need to really focus on getting some enchantment creatures, because right now I have 2, and that's not enough. So it's not bad, it's just, it's a rare. I shouldn't be picking it incredibly highly. Pretty low ask on taking the Sunblade here. I also like Awakened Awareness a good bit. We haven't really seen any indication that blue's open. This is an enchantment we could put in if we still wanted to play this, but like green-white is going to take better advantage of the Kami. And I love the Samurai. I think it's a very good card. So let's see where this goes. Okay, I like a lot of what's happening here, but I think we have to take the Fang of how do I say this? Shigeki? I know the Finns know how to say this. Rach may too, eh? Shigeki. Okay. John. Shigeki. All right. With the 2 spinning wheel kicks and the 2 Master's Rebukes, we want like 3 of these. Been saying I want a big dumb thing. There's a big dumb thing. This also would let me just basically modify everything I have, which I dig. But this just wants enchantments, right? Yeah, and I think I want one of these. They're still kind of mono green, y'all. I could take the Goshen Tai of Shared Porpoise. Shigeki. Okay. I don't love this card on its own. It makes a bunch of 1/1s, but let's dream a little bit. I do need a second color. I think Boon of Boseiju is a very powerful card. This finds a shrine, though, doesn't it? Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that. This is a good combat trick that we're getting incredibly late. Let's take that and be happy with it. I mean, hard to argue with this. If we find value, if not, we have a Borderland Minotaur. Y'all know how I feel about Borderland Minotaurs. I still don't know what our second color is, just that I'm very happy to be playing green. That's a late... I guess people are not understanding what you can do with this card, which is fine. I'm going to take this because I may legitimately need to play it. That's a good wheel. Okay, we're very happy with the green part. Show me the way. The red's a little better for making use of our fight spells. The white's a little better for like making use of the Kami. And I'm going to need to kind of choose our second color here because there's not a green card powerful enough for me to want to keep. I think we would play another Cultivation, but I don't think I'm going nuts over it here. I'm probably about 5 drafts in, and I'm close to recognizing all the cards. I'm like mildly interested in that too. Mildly interested in the Wonders Intervention. I think we may be going green-white enchantments. Hey, there's the Boseiju we wanted. There's also a Fang we'd like. I'm not really ramping to that much metal. The most expensive thing in the deck would be a 5 cost. I don't feel like I need to ramp for that. But I definitely want this. And I'm starting to think we're probably going to be doing white as our secondary color. Gets me a good flyer. It gives me a couple enchantments. It gets me the Fixin', so I don't have to play a lot of white sources. Hey, we got a Ninja Turtle. That's good with the fight spells too. And I think I value it higher than the first Pacifism. Well, normally I would be like, yeah, I would want the Arrest. But this is a Death Toucher that can destroy artifacts and enchantments, which is kind of a big deal, that I can ninja in, and that works with the 4 punch spells I already have. I don't think I would say that the turtle is way better than the rest. But I think I would say with the build that we have so far, I'm more interested in the turtle than the arrest. But I'm looking to crack down on hyperbole. I think we're pretty happy with the preserver here. It's a solid stat base and an enchantment creature. I don't really feel compelled to play any of these, but I mean the deck's almost done, so it's probably good. The Mentor's all right. But I think I'm going to take this and put it in the sideboard. If somebody's flyer heavy, we can bring it in. I'd really like another enchantment creature. I mean, that's basically exactly what we're looking for, eh? Cool. Let's do that. We got all the Death Touchers. Even get a dual land. Pretty happy about that. I would be interested in the turtle. But I don't know how I'm going to get the fixing with so little time left in the draft. So I'd rather take fixing for what I already have. This is probably better than the Kami. And then we bring this in from the sideboard if somebody's using pacifisms. Because this is just another enchantment that I can cast. We wield the Rampy Dude. I still kind of don't want it. I guess I don't really want this either, but it's like I don't have that much to do with a ton of mana. I'm still taking it. Maybe I can start it over this. This just doesn't look like it's doing anything. Like the deck going from 2 to 4 does seem pretty good. Sure. This gets an aura. So it could go find these. Okay, another fade I'm making room for. Every time I've not played all of these I've gotten, I've regretted it. So we're going to fix that. I've told people that when they're playing a bunch of forests, they should play 16 lands and commune with spirits. And now I'm going to prove myself right. Dude, too many good cards. I don't have the answer to that yet, Obama. And I'm not really looking to find answers to questions like that these days. I'm looking to have a good time and play some Magic. I think trying to play draft like hyper competitively these days, for me, is really no longer something I'm interested in. It's very okay for you to do that if it makes you happy. But I don't think it's for me. Non-enchantment creatures really need to be doing some heavy lifting to justify their inclusion. And I think they are. I think I've ended up not actually wanting this convergence or emergence. The Goshintai is probably something I shouldn't be that interested in either. It's not like I'm looking to go crazy wide. That probably doesn't get played. One of these doesn't get played. And that still leaves me with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 creatures. So like what I'd been doing is cutting like one of these. But maybe we just trim. Oh, I've got the cultivations too. We're overloaded on creatures. So this just comes down to what's our worst creature. And it's probably this emergence. I like it too, Enlighten. I don't think it's better than these cards. Oh, there's the cut. Duh. Easy peasy. because we're only playing 3 white cards. One of them finds a white source. Like, this is almost too much white. Like, there's 4, 5.5 sources. Means this is never coming down on 2, so maybe that's the answer, is trim this and play something else green, and then just basically splash the Cloudsteel Kirin off of the Samurai. That means I could even go down less white sources and never get mana screwed. And we can sideboard some of that in if we want to. I just don't think I'm going to want to. Like, it's still fine to want to figure out, you know, how many of this do I play, that sort of thing. It's just, I don't think that's my place in Limited anymore. Like, competitive draft has kind of moved to best of 1 being the de facto format, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to play it. And I don't have to. I really like this sleeve, even though it was from Eldraine. I think it's a cool sleeve. All right, to battle. Ancient One, thank you very much for the resub. I'll spam some cats for the Ancient One. Thank you for the 30 months of support. That's insane. This is how you spam cat. Oop. This hand looks aight. Good morning, Dom. Boop. That's a shame. They got me with that mind rot. No, I dropped the tic tac. Where did it go? I'm not eating it now. I guess it went to Tic Tac heaven. We didn't really see enough of their deck to make sideboard decisions, other than that they're probably playing ninja stuff and presumably have artifacts and enchantments. Which in this format is pretty easy to do. Our deck has a casual 13 enchantments. We could assume they have some flyers coming in and take out a low value card for this. I think I'm just going to trim one of the emergences for that. Like a 3/3 blocker is probably pretty good against ninja stuff too. And shortening the curve a little bit on the draw is probably nice. All right, I like having the fang in the opener. Yeah, it's been a while now. Years. Didn't get off the nicotine fully until last year, though. That's why I still have the Tic Tacs. That probably needs to go. Like, I can keep them down a little bit on mana. I could also try to get my own assault going. But I'm not going to be able to use more mana until I draw a 2 or something. I think I'd rather just take this off the board. It sucks that they've gotten value off of it. Let's make sure they don't get more. Yeah, I smoked for nearly 20 years. Yeah, so I quit smoking. It's probably been 7 years now. But I got addicted to the nicotine lozenges, which I think was certainly better. But still not ideal. So instead, now I'm addicted to Tic Tacs, which just means I have minty fresh breath. The game mechanic would be happy. I need to get to where I can play 2 spells in a turn. And I think I can get there. Possibly cavities? What you mean about cavities? Now I can't cast 2 spells in a turn without a land, but we're getting pretty far behind right now. Oh, cavities from the Tic Tacs. Yeah, I can deal with that. Smoking's worse for your teeth than Tic Tacs. Swap beer for cheer wine. Fair enough, bud. Awkward, but I thought I would miss cheer wine, but I kind of didn't. That was the wrong call because I don't need to double block it. Why would you not attack me there? I don't understand. I guess because they're only trading for one of them. Why was I holding the 2 lands? No reason. Just checking. We'll get him next turn. You will see. It's not quite dead. I'm trying to figure out what they can have that could punish me, and I don't actually know. But this attack feels pretty reasonable to me. Because they've got to kill my dude and deal 4 damage. I mean, keep drafting, John. Perhaps you will get there. Right? You can get busted decks. Somebody will pass an Angie. Speaking of that voice, I have to inform you that anytime anyone says you'll see, I immediately play you saying, you will see? Yes, you will see. I'm glad we got that earworm in. Alright, this deck seems to be going alright. Let's do it again. Why does it think it's 4 color? I guess that was a bug they had in like another set, and now it's back. Guess who's back? Bugs are back. Where's my 1-drop? Was this red? Okay. What'd this do? They eventually make a Kiki Jiki? It'd be cooler if they didn't. What is the exploit, John? I'm very confused. Someone uses an outside tool to rapidly highlight people's cards. Really? So if I just do this enough, my opponent is screwed. But this is probably not fast enough. That's embarrassing. This gets back permanents, right? No, just non-legendary cards. I can get 2 now. Eventually they'll do it to a streamer. I'm trying to decide if I just take this and then get back infinity things. Like I can try to kill both of them and then get back this. So that's probably reasonable. So this is 6 things I can get back. Well, 6 mana I can spend on it. 3 things I can get back. Which would probably be Fade, Cap Attack, and Wheel Kick. Let's do that. Oh, I need 1 more for that, huh? I guess I just take the 2 of them out then. Seems pretty reasonable to me. They could have taken the death touch off of my dude, but they didn't. And I like that they didn't. Okay, so this is why I'm like, you can play 16 lands with Commune with Spirits, because I didn't need to draw another forest. But sometimes, instead of drawing a forest, you draw a Fang of Shigeki. Hiya! People passed me that. Can you believe it? Straight up passed it to me. Presumably looked at this, read it, and then said, I don't want this. It doesn't even have legs. Well, I'm a people, and I'm bad at magic. So yes, people are bad at magic. Everyone's bad at magic. Everyone's a champion. It's all good. They have to be splashing for that saga, right? So I'll just keep the 2 Fate Antiquities in and not worry about it. We have History of Drafts this afternoon, don't we, for War of the Spark? So get hyped for that too. I'm excited. Means your computer's going to explode? I will happily draft Eldraine with y'all. Seems reasonable. Mainly because of this Fang. I like that card. I think we may skip Eldraine. I don't think anybody would really mind, right? John is joking, right? I think it was before you, yeah, it was certainly before you found the stream, but I actually quit playing Magic during Eldraine. It wasn't because of Eldraine, it was because of bot drafting. But that's left me with, like, some strong opinions about Eldraine, which are all wrong. I know, it's probably shocking to imagine me being wrong. It kind of surprised me too initially. But that's where John's coming from. Have him release it digitally and I'll draft it. I'm just a digital boy. We got +3/+3 untap on a stick. I think I can work with that. Is it +4/+4? Oh, you're right. Yeah, because of the Beseju. Cool. So what does Skull Saucer do? All right, fine. I'll block that. When Skull Saucer enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and put your head on the table. Sacrifice Skull Saucer when your head stops touching the table. Yeah, it sounds like a great set, John. You do not. That's not very nice at all. Well, that clearly needs to go. Excuse me? They should be attacking with that apprentice too, for sure, because I am not blocking it. Hiya! That does sound pretty funny, Ship. Contraptions are cards you draft, but they go into a different deck. Assemble a contraption. It means you draw one of those cards from your contraption deck and attach it to gear 1, 2, or 3. Each turn you activate all contraptions. You plan out a big turn with all your contraptions, or plan them out on each gear. That sounds really complicated, and I don't understand it. But maybe it's cool. I mean, Magic sounds really complicated, and I don't understand it, so who knows? Essentially, contraptions are free spells that go off every 3 turns on repeat. I mean, it sounds like it could be fun to play with some friends with beer and pretzels. Like, if Dave and John live next door to me, yeah, we're doing this. These pretzels are making me thirsty. I mean, it can be fun and silly, right? Like, those are things that happen. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that in the era of COVID. That's pretty great. Sorry, just the image of you licking your hand. Be like, want to high five me? It's freaking hilarious. Target Minotaur, Squirrel, Dealer. Okay, maybe it's okay. Who likes squirrels? You have raised your child right, Dave. This have potential. Needs to draw a couple lands, but I'm pretty good at drawing lands. And why wouldn't we have this on turn 1? Yeah, History of Draft is at 3 Eastern today. It is currently 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Looking forward to you kicking everybody's butt, and this one too missed. Kind of sucks to whiff on the land. I think we're full on signups for the History of Draft, but anybody that wants to check my Discord and potentially get into future games can do so. I do not currently want to trade damage with them, no. Green White has a lot of life gain, so like trading damage against that deck is probably not a good idea for me. Because I don't want to trade the Fang for the Companion. Like, we're basically sitting here to see if we can draw another 2 lands. If we can, we get to play Magic. If we don't, we probably die. And the longer I can sit here with Death Touch blockers and them not doing anything, the more likely I am to hit the lands. That is a good time. Well-designed game you have here. Hiya! All right, I can't complain too much. It is technically a land, sort of, if you think about it. Need artifact removal. I can wheel kick for 0. It's true. Could take another 4. Yeah, I probably should do that. I frankly forgot that I could do that. Because if I'm not blocking with it, like, that's just silly. The plan here is probably to harmonious convergence and then consider blocking it. Bone splitter. I guess they do this and like it's kind of not the best thing ever, but it's okay. I'm still getting a 2-for-1 here. It's not a wonderful 2-for-1 for me, but it is an acceptable one. Because the other option is, what if they just didn't have any creatures next turn? Because we could totally make that happen. I guess they figure they're still kind of up a card with that. It's a nice saga you have there, or excuse me, equipment. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. This ties into 1/3, right? Yeah, 1/3 chump blocker. No, it's done that for a little while with that type of effect, which is good. Again, people passed this. It's really bad. You should pass it. You should totally keep doing that. I've been very happy with the 2 Fade to Antiquities. So many things to kill. Are you serious? Okay, so the downside of this is Hunt the Weak without a counter, right? Okay, the downside of this is Hunt the Weak without a counter. And that's not great. That's not great. And sure, you're comfortable with 2 if you have a lot of Death Touchers, but it's pretty easy to get a lot of Death Touchers. Like once I had 2 of these, I prioritized the Death Touchers. So for me, I think I would play up to 4. Yeah, it's better than Hunt, right? Because it's basically a 4-cost Rabid Bite. Rabid Bite was good enough that you'd pay 4 for it. And the upside of you have 6 mana and get to kill 2 things is insane. I mean, me too, but if I could cash both of these in for another Spinning Wheel Kick with this stack, I think I would. But it's uncommon. I'm probably never going to get that many. But I also feel like a lot of green decks are going to have extra mana, right? Because this Cultivation seems pretty good. These get passed super late. Cool. I'm going to have a great time in this format. It's exactly as good as I expected. Yeah, bot drafts are just never never an accurate representation of anything, really. We're gonna take 4 for a little bit. And there ain't much I can do about it. Alright. I can also just trade. I'm pretty game with that. Like, they've got combat tricks. Let's get them out of their hand. Like, they're probably just happy to have lifelink on the sword. But, like, the name of this game is trade whatever you have to get rid of things that are under that sword until you can finally beat this opponent. Getting this going is probably pretty good for us. I get a free divination too. Like, that seems good. Then we can potentially block it and have a combat trick up. That's something. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is we play the Bearer of Memory and the Boon. Because this is +4/+4. I assumed they had something. I hate using defensive combat tricks, but I'm gonna. The nightmare scenario is they actually can kill it. Getting that exiled means that, oh no, it's leave the battlefield. Okay. I thought it was a dies. Never mind. Yeah, Gideon's Herpaderp is the worst case there. Well, I got 2 cards that can blow up the sword. If I find them, we win. If I don't, we don't. That's a good point, Enlightened. I hadn't thought of that. You could bounce it and get a ton of value. I got too many dead draws if I block that. I got a lot of live draws if I don't. Should have played the land first. I'm bad and I feel bad. Wing team is pretty close to lethal here, but they're not doing that for some reason. And I like that they're not doing that. Like if they'd swung with their whole board, I'd have had to chump block that forest. We're flooding out just a little bit here. Why didn't it exile the land? It would be destroyed. Instead, sacrifice this and it gains indestructible. Whenever a crypt creature dies, exile it. So I guess this triggers first. Hi, what's up, Mia? How many things can I get? 3? Do any of them matter? I mean, sort of. Oh, I guess I do this at the end of their turn, right? Because I can do this at instant speed. Right, because we're going to end up blocking this. Well, they could also kill me. They chose not to kill me before, but they could choose to kill me this turn. So I'd probably like to not be dead. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, so I need to get 2. Okay. I need a blocker and presumably another blocker. Hey, what's up, Frosty? Yeah, so far Neon Dynasty's been fun. Moo. Doesn't matter. We're never going to get to do it. They've got the 6, which means I have to block. And we're going to 2. Okay, that's a little worse than 2. Hiya! Yeah, we're in a heap of trouble, dude. Alexa, play Run to the Hills. Yeah, it's not good enough. Boop. You're just saying that. You're listening to Iron Maiden right now. I know how this works. I see a lot more of their deck. And yeah, enchantment removal looks super hot. It kind of comes down to, did they draw the sword, and then can I draw the thing to kill the sword? Because Because we got two things that kill the sword. Let's try that. I have three things that kill the sword? What's the other one? Oh, the Ninja Turtle? Potentially the Ninja Turtle could do it. We haven't drawn the Kami at all. It's kind of a disappointment. I may need to kill this, which really sucks because they have the sword and I don't want to die to the sword, but I also don't want to take infinity damage. So if they have the sword, I think I probably lose to it now. Okay, I can work with this. Well, that makes the decision a little easier. I just kicked them with my land. They drew some sort of graveyard interaction. My guess is it's the recovery unit. His legs? Yeah, I guess it turns into whatever that is. I used to know what that was called, but now I don't. There was one as a character in BoJack Horseman. Okay, I'm willing to believe you have a ninjutsu card. Axiotl. That's it. A shame. Really? I can't believe we've drawn this many lands and I'm still kind of playing Magic. Like, I'm gonna die. But we flooded hard and these spinning wheel kicks are really trying to keep me going. They're not gonna, but they are trying hard. But we've drawn, what, 4 more lands than our opponent? That's tough. I mean, we sent a couple cards to the bottom with the commune. but the commune was being played over land, right? Like it's a 16 land deck. Hello, Orkish. Like the Captain Picard kick? I always assumed that's what she was saying. It must have been. It makes sense. I can take 3, I can't take 6. Yeah, sometimes you draw too many lands. It's part of Magic. It is the good and bad part of Magic, right? Like that is why I've decided to be a little less invested in competitive Magic. It's like sometimes stuff like this happens and it gets you. It's always been there. It's always been a part of it. But like it could send me to tilt or get me mad, and I'm like, you know, let's just have a good time and play some Magic. I think we drafted well. I think we had a good deck. I talked some about this on stream, but it's probably worth reiterating here. I think a big part of what got me really frustrated with Magic and why I couldn't quite put my finger on why the payout structure bothered me, but it really did, was on Magic Online, you got your buy-in back when you had a 2-1. So every time I got a 2-1, I felt like, yeah, we're doing it. And a 3-0 was like ultimate doing it, right? So we had that feeling of I won, and I felt like I won all the time. And then occasionally I spiked a high one, and I was like, I'm amazing. Whereas the way the structure works for Limited on Arena is a 2-1 doesn't get you your buy-in back. So it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like you have to 3-0 for a victory. And there really isn't a super victory, right? And that just kind of makes me feel like, meh, okay. That just means I need to be a little less invested in it. Because it like playing the game and getting, like you play video games for however you want. I play video games to feel good. Maybe for an escape, maybe to feel happy, maybe to have a good time. And like I couldn't quite put my finger on what was getting me in the arena structure, but I really think it was that, right? Like I didn't feel like I was winning as much, and it made me feel like I'm bad and I'm not good at what I'm doing, and like I'm still winning as much as I was when I was streaming Magic Online. Just the reward structure is different, and that's okay. I don't need to feel bad about that. So I'm happy, and I'm having a good time with Kamigawa. That was a fun deck. That was a fun draft. I'm happy with where we ended up, and we'll draft it again tomorrow. It'll be cool. A very big thank you to my patrons: Paul, Punk, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Fasty, Rich, Brandon, John, and Jazzy. Thank you very much.